right there, and he hits it from there, and what does he do? He hits it straight up in the air and doesn't get any power. Well, obviously, the combination of the two is what we're trying to get to. He wants to get his weight forward so he can get his weight to his left side. We do that by shifting our weight to our left side here. We want to get behind the ball so we swing level the hill by changing our body angle. So let's do that again. Hips forward, body angle back, swing the length of the hill with a club that will simulate the distance you're trying to go. Instead of a 7-iron, let's use a 5-iron and choke it down to a 7-iron length. We then are free to play the shot. I hope that helps you play a few uphill shots the next time you're on the course. For most people, the downhill lie is the most difficult and awkward shot that they play in the game of golf. Let me show you how I play it. The downhill shot is a difficult and awkward shot for a variety of reasons. The main reason being is that you're going to have a shot where you're going to be reducing the loft off of the golf club, meaning you're going to have to take a shorter club to play the shot, and you don't have the luxury of being able to lengthen the golf club. So what do? Well, you try to create as many things as possible to be able to compensate for that factor and still get the ball into the air. First of all, I'm going to try to make my body angle fit the hillside. I'm going to try to move my hips back and most of my weight back to my right foot at the address. What does this do? Well, by putting my body angle perpendicular to the hill, I'll then be able to swing as normal as possible and on the line of the hill. My hips being back will keep me from getting my weight too fast to my left side and not allowing for a full release. The other compensation is that I'm going to put slightly more loft on the golf club by opening the golf club face and then aiming to the left of the target to compensate for that fade. Should look something like this. I know this is a complicated lesson, but the problem in playing a downhill shot is to get the ball in the air. The average golfer will try two ways of getting the ball in the air. One, he tries to get behind it, and what happens? Well, he hits about 8 inches behind it. The second thing he tries to do, he says, I don't want to hit behind it. I want to make sure I get the ball first. So he leans all his weight down on his left foot, and then he hits it. Yeah, he might catch the ball solidly, but he drives it right on into the ground. Doesn't get any elevation, he can't get a result out of the shot. So let me review a little bit of the things we're going to try to do to get the ball in the air. And that's the important thing on a downhill shot. One, we're going to open the club face slightly. That puts more loft on the club. We're going to take more club than you might normally want to compensate for the downhill lie. We're going to open our stance slightly to allow us to play a slight fade because of the open club face. We're going to get our body angle perpendicular to the hill, and we're going to get the majority of our weight centered back so we don't get to the left foot too fast. So let's watch that again. Here we are, left, open club face, body angle, and a normal swing. I hope that helps you the next time you get in this awkward position. The side hill lie with the ball above your feet. A lot of people have trouble with it simply because they don't understand it. Let me explain it to you. When the ball is above the feet in a golf shot, the angle of the plane must change to conform with the side of the hill. What I mean by that is, if your normal plane would be here for a level lie, that would put the toe of the club into the side of the hill. So you really must conform the sole of the club to the side of the hill and swing on that plane. To do that, you need a slightly more erect body angle. You need to try and keep your head as still as possible. To do that, the natural tendency is to fall back down the hill because you're on the side of it, is to keep more weight on your toes. And also, the club, as it swings, will produce a natural hook because the club face will be coming in at a different angle and will naturally throw the ball off of the flat side hill lie to the left. So we aim to the right of the target to compensate. Everything else is the same. Ball to the right of the target, slightly more erect, weight slightly on my toes, and a normal swing. Hopefully we'll get the right results. When the average golfer is confronted with a side hill lie, the ball above his feet, he'll generally make one of two mistakes. The first common mistake is he'll try to play it as though he were on a level surface or a flat lie. And what happens, he'll get the toe of the club caught into the hillside, something like that, and the ball might go anywhere. Now, the second fella, he understands that he might get the toe of the club caught in the hillside, so he stands a little bit more erect to compensate for that. But as he stands more erect, he forgets a little bit about his balance, and all of a sudden, he's standing there and hitting it like this. He falls right back down the hillside. Well, obviously, a combination of those two is what you're looking for. You're looking to keep your weight into the hillside